Top 100 underrated R&B songs. Here we go. 5 star Let Me Be the One, 1985. The song was one of the best hits from this song group, peaking at number 2 on the charts. Mandy Moore did a cover version of this record in 1999. Nick Martinelli was the original producer of this classic gem. He definitely did their thing coming out of the UK. This British singing group, Brothers and Sisters. And this song was released in 1985. It's an underrated R&B gem because despite peaking at number 2 on the US R&B charts, the British sibling group largely remembered only for their domestic pop hits. Even the sophisticated Philadelphia style soul track overshadowed globally. Denise Pearson, she sung lead on this one, or the vocal delivery. Yeah, I think this is one very underrated song. And this group is underrated, coming from the UK and what they brought to the table. They're from Romford, England, British group. Had unique space, songs like Systematic, Rain and Shine. They did their thing, but Let Me Be the One. Great song, but again, I think it's underrated when you look at history of R&B songs. You know, despite the hit record, it's overshadowed by the era's biggest action. Look at Whitney Houston, Janet Jackson, New Edition. They were doing their thing at that time. Well, Janet Jackson, I don't think she came out. I think the first album, 1986. So that's why I put. There's 5 siblings. I put this on the list at number 61. I just felt that you look at the great songs in R&B history. I think that fits in that underrated category. And they were kind of like trying to copy off of, no surprise, Jackson 5, Jacksons. Thanks for hitting the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because they were sisters and brothers. Their harmonies, how they did things, their vocal delivery. They looked up to the Jacksons. The backing vocals, because they had to deal with the British invasion identity crisis. You had no Soul to Soul. They came later, and you had Loose Ends doing their thing in the UK. So that's where it stands out when it comes to 5 star and the things that they did at that time with Let Me Be the One hit record, but I think it's underrated historically. They had their great peak at the peak of their powers, their zenith of success. It's just that it didn't last as long as it should. Thanks for the 2 people hitting the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. Helps the channel. So that's what it is, man. 5 star, Let Me Be the One. To me, that's the very underrated song. I think it really is. Also, it reached number 18 on the UK singles chart. It had a cult following among R&B soul connoisseurs, but it didn't achieve the massive permanent crossover ubiquity in the US mainstream that similar Black British or American acts and R&B enjoyed at the time. But their catalog is very overshadowed. Bombastic pop tracks, high energy dance anthems often take the spotlight. Even the smoother mid-tempo masterpiece under discuss outside dedicated 80s soul circles. So that's basically it, man. So I'm done. I'll come back about 1:30, continue on this countdown. The top 100 underrated R&B songs. I'll be at number 60. Keep it moving. So till then, talk to you soon.